All right. Here we go back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, here we go back again on the other side of the coin, and we just continue with this, transfer news, Chelsea transfer business, whatnot. It just sparks good discussions. Whether these things happen or not, that's a different story, but it just creates a very good vibe in this channel, Ishan, as you probably agree as well. It creates a whole heap of discussions. The fans get involved. And we absolutely have an amazing time at the end of the stream. I've been getting so many praises through my DMs and whatnot. I'll get comments for you as well, Ishan, for coming in and providing your opinions. So look, as I said, guys, some of these news may not come true. A lot of them probably won't come true. Probably just Haaland and Hakimi so far looking very strong. But all the other ones are literally it just sparks a good discussion, and maybe it's a side note for other deals that's happening. So let's see what happens. But look, already we've got quite a few people on. Smash the like button, guys, if you're enjoying this particular channel. It helps the channel out a lot when you like it. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. So yeah, please do that. And Ishan, my man, how you doing?
Yeah, let's go. New day, new discussions. We're back yet again. Listen, looking forward to the stream. Well, I hope it'll be very fruitful and a lot of discussion, good outcome as well. I'm hoping for a good stream today.
Brilliant, my man, brilliant. Honestly, it's going to be awesome. Alex already here talking about Locatelli. If you have watched Don Robbie's show, Fabrizio clearly says Loca is in many clubs' radar, but Juventus is definitely leading the race. Yeah, look, as I said, some of these things probably won't happen, but what I'm going to spark a discussion here. You guys will be very, very interested, and hopefully you guys join in. Just like all the other time as well, guys, at the end of the stream, once we finish discussing the topics, I will let the fans come in and join and give your opinions on some of the topics that we're going to raise today, because it's always great to hear what you guys have to say and then interacting off the back of that. But that aside, let's get straight into this. First of all, Ishan, I want to talk about Jude Bellingham. Yesterday, there was a report that came out from Nizaar Kinsella, who's a very well-esteemed journalist in the Chelsea community. He covers the material for Goal. You were talking about Goal as well yesterday, stating a few things, and Goal is a very legitimate based publication. And what Nizaar Kinsella, Ishan, was talking about, that this whole Haaland situation, this whole Haaland link, is a lot bigger than we think. Obviously, the whole link itself is huge. I mean, Erling Haaland is going to cost a mammoth amount of money, and it's a superstar signing. Is a superstar striker. We've covered this many a times. But Ishan, this particular striker apparently, and it kind of makes sense, I want to get your opinion on this, that this will hopefully pave the way to get a future deal, which is with Bellingham. And apparently Chelsea have been very much interested on this particular kid from a lot younger age. He's already like only 17 or 18. He's very young. But apparently Chelsea have always had this player in their radar. And this particular Haaland deal will hopefully, give the foundation to go for someone like Bellingham down the track. I mean, for me, it kind of makes sense, because you do this sort of business with Dortmund now. Hopefully you sweet talk them, try and talk to them already and see the progress of Jude Bellingham, because Jude will become a superstar as well. I think he's a phenomenal player. But yeah, from that perspective, what do you think, man? Talk to me about Jude Bellingham. How much have you seen him, and what do you think about him?
Yeah, listen, as we all as Premier League fans, we might not watch Bundesliga that much to that extent that we watch Premier League. But then, yes, with the likes of Jude Bellingham and Haaland and, even Bayern Munich, all those new guys popping up, we all need to have a look at Bundesliga for the next few seasons. Definitely, we need to keep an eye on this guy, Jude Bellingham. He is an upcoming star for sure. His output has been immense, and he's just 17 years old. My God, I mean, he's not even given his board exams for 12th standard. That is mad.
He's probably on his feeder still. Do you know what I mean? Just sucking on the milk.
Yeah, he is so young and yet he's so impactful. That's what you see as a club, as a rival club, or maybe as a club who you would want him as a player. The impact that he brings. It's not always about the statistics. It's not always about the goals. It's about the impact. It's about the mentality that you bring to the team and how the playing environment that that particular player brings in your team. That is very much attractive. To the other teams as well, and that's what has this guy let him uplift his terms and uplift his standard in this past 1 year. We've seen that you cannot just say that okay, he's just performed in Bundesliga. No, he has made some good impact in Champions League as well. So you cannot
Bro, against Man City, Ishan,
Yeah,
he looked like a very good player. He single-handedly probably was controlling that first leg. That should have been a goal. I'm pretty sure you remember how Edison, that should have been a goal. But yeah, carry on.
It should have been a goal. We all know, we as football fans, when we see an individual grow that way, we know that this guy has potential. This guy has immense talent, and that we all know Jude Bellingham is going to be that. But then, yes, one thing that people are, pondering upon is he's way too young, and we need to give him some more year of time to be clear on the fact that how much is his reach and how much is he going to develop in the few years. That is obvious, But then, in business terms, you might need to secure that player as your own from in your team, so that he might be fruitful in future if you want to sell him, or maybe exchange him with someone else. Like you said, we can also pave way for Haaland with this deal. So it is important for other clubs as well. And there has been rumors in terms of Borussia Dortmund's transfer speculations. They are very much strict on Haaland terms. They really want to keep Haaland, and rightly so. But then we all know the insights that if they do not sell Haaland at this season, then they will have to sell Haaland next season. Since the release clause kicks in, and they won't have any option, and it would definitely tempt Borussia Dortmund. We have already talked about this multiple times, that a 140 million or a 150 million is way definitely better than a 60 to 70 million. So they cannot refuse that. Next thing about Bellingham is that he is young, and just from our eye test level, he is so much pleasing to watch, that each and every club in Premier League wants him. The big clubs with the likes of Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, these three, also Man City, there has been speculations that all these clubs want to sign him. Why? Because these big clubs in Premier League, they just do not sign players just like that in a snap. They have a proper scout sessions and all those stuffs. They have a keen look at the player for a couple of years, and then they give the decision on the transfer interest. So I'm not sure where will this guy land, but wherever he does, he'll bring a huge impact to the team. And yes, Chelsea has been the front runner, as Fabrizio Romano has said, that we can sign this guy and pave a way for Haaland's transfer as well, just like you said, and it makes total sense. It can happen.
Nizaar Kinsella.
Yeah. Also, looking at Chelsea's transfer priority, I don't think so. Jude Bellingham is the number one priority, to be very honest. At this point of time, we have more important spaces to fill up as far as this transfer season is considered. But then, yes, if Chelsea gets Jude Bellingham, he's so young that he won't cost that much. Hardly 30-40 million tops. Maybe let's consider max 50. So that is okay to have this amount of talent, and he's that young, so he can develop in our academy as well, and to grow up a good player. So definitely it'll be a good buy. But then it'll be very interesting, because now multiple Premier League clubs are after him, and it is even Liverpool and Man United rumors regarding Jude Bellingham is getting stronger. So at this point of time, it's not actually clear, but then I think so. He might leave at the end of this transfer season. It is a huge possibility.
Oh, look, I don't think it's going to happen at the end of this transfer window. The whole Jude Bellingham thing is more of a future thing, where Chelsea sees that. This is my perspective after reading that article as well from Nizaar Kinsella, that he's saying that the whole Haaland deal is in full throttle at the moment. We are going full in, and hopefully this will happen. But what it creates is that it will create a good, hopefully, a relationship with Dortmund down the track for someone like Jude Bellingham. Definitely Jude Bellingham, this transfer window is not happening. That's for guaranteed. I don't think Dortmund is looking to let go of him, and I don't think Chelsea is interested to get someone like Jude Bellingham now. But the potential of this player down the track, Chelsea can already see the kind of a player this is turning out to be in this season for Dortmund, in the Champions League as well, at the highest level, how fantastic Jude Bellingham has been playing. Yeah. Chelsea's already planting the seeds for the future, which I think is a very, very smart thing to do. If we can put up, some sort of like a package for Bellingham, I'm not talking about a salary package, more like a package to showcase that this is what Chelsea Football Club can bring for you in the future. You learn your traits at Dortmund, do your best, and then when the time comes, when you're 19, 20, we will be the first team to snap you up. And we'll lay the foundation. Obviously, at that time, hopefully at that time, Haaland still stays and whatnot. And we've won even more Premier Leagues and even more, Champions League by then for Jude Bellingham to come in. But my man, honestly, for me, if you think about the future, if you think about from an objective point of view, players like Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, I think is still youngish. I just want to have a quick look at Kovacic's age. Give me 1 second, guys.
Also, very quickly, Mirror has reported that it's just a matter of few hours that they've reported in an article that Jude Bellingham is giving hints that he is very keen on joining Man United. He's a fan of Man United.
Oh wow!
He's very keen on that. Yeah. So there is a reports.
Yeah,
I think so. He also visited the training ground of Man United. So, and he was very impressed. And in one article, he said, in Mirror, he said that he had, So
as you said, this particular player is so fantastic, and there's going to be suitors for him down the track. Unbelievably, there'll be many suitors for him. But going back to the whole point, Kovacic is 27. I think Jorginho is turning 29. Kante is already 30. So. We do need to build a future. Like Jorginho and Kante are not players that are going to just be able to play forever, especially in that midfield role where it's so demanding. So, we do need to plan for it. We have Billy Gilmour, 100%. We play, hopefully develop Billy Gilmour into a superstar as well, and he becomes a very important part for the midfield. But if we can secure, Ishan, someone like Jude Bellingham down the track, maybe 2 seasons' time, not next season or the season after, or maybe not even the season after, but a couple of seasons time, it sets us up for the future. So it is interesting to see. And you know what, Ishan, we've seen many players that have said, "Oh, I'm interested to go to this particular club or that particular club. That's my boyhood club," and it's literally never always goes that way, and they end up going somewhere else. The other reason why I brought this up, Ishan, is the fact that everyone's so interested about Declan Rice, Ishan. Yeah. And I feel like saying there is a world outside of Declan Rice. There is a world outside of it. Declan Rice is not the only midfielder out there, the defensive. He's a fantastic player, unbelievable player. But I'm trying to showcase that there are other options. And Bellingham down the track will be another option. Because it seems like Chelsea at the moment, I'm not sure if you saw this in Matisse's channel. Obviously, you saw All You Can Eat Chelsea just before you came on here. Yeah, but Matisse had Liam Toomey yesterday, Ishan, and he was saying that Chelsea may not even prioritize the DM at the moment because we feel that Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, and Billy Gilmour may just be enough. If we can get ourselves a Hakimi and a Haaland, then we are set. But your thoughts about whole thing about, do we need to rush in and throw the money to get Rice, or do you feel we can wait a bit? There are players like Jude Bellingham in the future and also Billy Gilmour. That could be very fruitful for us,
Yeah, totally. Just the way Thomas Tuchel treated the midfielders this season, Kovacic at one point of time, he was injured. So, we had a fear that Jorginho might have been overused or Kante might have been overused. But then Thomas Tuchel perfectly manipulated the midfielder, perfectly rotated these guys. Also through tough games, Kovacic was injured when we had consecutive games, Champions League and Premier League, then again the cups. So we had consecutive games when Kovacic was injured, and it took some sort of effort for Thomas Tuchel to have the rotation, the perfect rotation for him, and give the perfect games. We've seen that, some games where Kante was rested, and Jorginho and Billy Gilmore came in, and they started the match. Also, we've seen a lot of games where Kante and Billy Gilmore played, but then Jorginho had to sit, and he came and joined back in the second half. So yeah, it is a concern when one of these midfielders are not available. Yeah, if all the three guys are available, perfectly fit, and they're ready to play, I don't see as a problem, as an immediate problem that we'd need a midfielder. I think so. These three guys are more than capable enough. They're doing very, very good. Jorginho has performed really, really well since Thomas Tuchel came. Apart from a couple of mistakes, that is fine. But then his overall performance has been top notch. Kante, let's just not speak about him. He's one of the best midfielders in world football right now. So, and also Kovacic, apart from that injury phase, he's been very, very productive.
Yeah.
And he holds few qualities as a midfielder that you might not find in other midfielders. So Kovacic also holds a very, very important role in this team, and Thomas Tuchel knows when to play them and how to rotate them. So if these three guys are completely available, I don't even see Billy Gilmore get his chance. It is that much hard to decide who plays and who doesn't, because we just have two spaces for these four guys, right? Gilmore, Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic. So it's just two space for four guys. So if you bring in now someone else, so definitely again there's a sacrifice. You need to make someone sit.
100%. Yeah.
So you cannot do that, since Jorginho would be saying, listen, I didn't perform bad. I am not injured, so I am benched. So there will be a question arising. There will be tension in the group. So why do that? Why fix something which is not broken? So if they are performing good at a good level, fine. Now the problem which I'm saying here is, if we're going for back three next season, definitely we're getting a double pivot where all these four players get that chance. If one of them gets injured, Billy Gilmore steps in. If Billy Gilmore goes out for loan, or he's getting out of Chelsea on a permanent deal somewhere else, definitely there has to be a player who hops in, maybe a Tchouaméni, if Chelsea goes forward with this deal. If not, then I don't see any rush. You're right that we do not specifically need a midfielder. We've been creating chances. These three guys have been good. Yes, we might need a holding midfielder, which we are seeking for, right, from Lampard's situation. But then one thing that we need to think at this point of time is, we were targeting a center holding midfielder when Lampard was in, because Lampard played a 4-3-3 with one central defensive midfielder, and that role had to be a holding midfielder. That role couldn't be fulfilled by all these four guys single-handedly, right? So that's where we needed a proper holding midfielder. That was when Lampard was here, and that's when Declan Rice speculations started coming, and we were very much linked with Declan Rice, because we were playing that sort of football where we needed a holding DM. I'm not saying that Declan Rice is a perfect guy to be the lone DM in the 4-3-3, but then
and you know what, Ishan, he doesn't even play as a lone DM for West Ham. It's Souček next to him, so
he doesn't. He doesn't. But then it was Lampard's idea, and it was his desire to bring Declan Rice in Chelsea, right? And to fulfill that DM position. That's where this Declan Rice saga started, And once Lampard was gone, Thomas Tuchel came in. The system changed. We've gone to a back three, and we've gone to a double pivot where there are four players fighting for the two positions. And now I don't see if it makes sense to bring in a Declan Rice. Then again, the question arises that whom do you bench? So you cannot bench the three of the top players that have been playing for us.
Well, I don't think he would start. I honestly don't think it'll generally be Kante and Jorginho, and then there's Kovacic. So I really don't think Rice would start.
You cannot bench Kante, right, or over Declan Rice. No way.
And you can't bench Jorginho now. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a Champions League winner. He's won the Europa League. He's doing madness with Italy at the moment. you know,
if the scene is, if Chelsea tries to sell Jorginho or a Billy Gilmore, then if you bring someone as a midfielder, that is understandable.
Yeah.
That would make more sense. But then now, why to overload spaces and make a hassle full of environment where everybody would fight for the places, and it'll be a hassle full of environment. So it doesn't make sense. Absolutely true that we might not need a midfielder whatsoever in this transfer season.
Yeah, there is a saying, and Matisse, once again, he keeps using this, is that there is a notion of unhealthy competition. Like there is healthy competition, then there's unhealthy competition. When you have that many, like look at our attackers, so many attackers stacked, there's someone who's going to get sacrificed. You've been saying it, Ishan, on this channel every day. Someone's going to get sacrificed. So it's, we don't want to do that in midfield when it's not necessary. Phantom of many topics, thank you so much for the super chat. Billy Gilmore is too small. He gets run over often. Honestly, I don't think the size is small. Kante is small. Do you know what I mean? There's many players. Hazard's small. Messi.
Xavi and Iniesta are not big.
Xavi and Iniesta are not that big. The height, the structure is not the issue. I think it's more the experience. But Billy, he is absolutely gets talked so highly from everyone inside Chelsea, the people that actually watch him on a day-to-day basis from academy level to now watching him develop, they've only got high praise. There are certain people that are saying that they've not seen this level of academy player for a long time. I know people say a lot of things about Callum and whatnot, but there's literally a lot of people who are saying this about Billy Gilmore in an unbelievable way. Cesc Fabregas has praised Billy Gilmore many a time. So I think he's going to be a special player, man. This is one player. There's a lot of academy players that I probably don't have complete belief in, but Billy Gilmore is one that I think we need to be very, very careful as to how we treat him. If we send him on a loan, which I don't mind him going on a loan next season, it has to be a very good place, because it has to be a team that plays possession-based football, because that's what Billy likes to do. It can't be a team that plays long ball. It can't be a Sam Allardyce kind of team like a Burnley. Billy Gilmore will die at Burnley. Billy Gilmore needs a very, very good loan. Brighton play football. Do you know what I mean? They're very much a possession-based football. Their coach, Graham Potter, plays football. So, something along that lines could go down very well. I do want to bring out, I saw something from Declared. Declared, my man, thank you so much for joining. Declared saying, don't worry about bookkeeping, get the best player. 100% Declared, as we've said it yesterday. I am not worried about bookkeeping. Ishan's not worried about bookkeeping. But the whole thing about Declan Rice, it's not just the price. I don't know if Declan Rice is the best of the best. He's a very, very good player. Don't get me wrong. He's an excellent player. But I feel like there are other options out there who are so good. We've talked about Tchouaméni in this channel. So many talked about Tchouaméni. Even Ishan likes Tchouaméni. Jude Bellingham is one for the future. So we need to look out for that. The other one let's talk about right now, Ishan, is Manuel Locatelli. He seems to be the flavor of the town at the moment. I mean, look, I'm not someone who's watched Manuel Locatelli that much. I don't follow Serie A, so I'm going to be honest with you. Calvin Phillips, the other day when we talked about it, I said I watched Calvin Phillips. So I'm not surprised by how good he's played. And I personally, I think I would prefer someone like Calvin Phillips over Declan Rice for our team because of his know-how with Bielsa, because of his technical abilities. I would prefer someone like Calvin Phillips. He's a phenomenal player. His passing ability. Locatelli, from what I've seen with Italy, he seems like another option. He can score. Already he scored in the first game. I think he scored in the first game. I believe he scored in the first game. Well, he scored 2 against Switzerland.
2,
fantastic goals as well. The first one where he first time touched it to his teammate from Sassuolo, and then he cuts it back in, and Locatelli takes that run from midfield and finds himself into the box and taps it in. A lot of people are saying he's more of a box-to-box. He's not a holding midfielder. But then there's a lot of people that watch Serie A have been saying that he can definitely play as a holding midfielder as well. What's your thoughts? Have you watched Locatelli? Is he another option as opposed to Declan Rice? And now Fabrizio Romano in Don Robbie's show has said that Chelsea are one of the clubs that are interested. There are many other clubs that are interested in Locatelli. Chelsea are one of them. as Alex said over here, that Juventus is the one who looks like leading the race. And generally, these Italian players stay within the Italian league. But what's your thoughts about Locatelli?
Yeah, as far as Locatelli to Chelsea is considered, Mr. Fabrizio Romano, he's almost already cleared everything. Yeah, so even I believe that Juventus are front runners as far as Locatelli is concerned. I've not watched him. I'll be very honest. I've not watched him. He's from Sassuolo, and to be honest, if I don't watch him, I don't watch Serie A, you don't watch Serie A, then the only person we can rely on in terms of eye test is Mr. Fabrizio Romano. So if he says that he's been very, very good, Locatelli has been one of the best midfielders in Serie A, that is a huge statement, right? And we need to believe that, because
Gabriel Marcotti as well, man. Gabriel Marcotti has been saying that it's not a surprise. He's a very good player.
Yeah, he is. And also, Locatelli has been scouted by Chelsea for long now. It's not new. From Chelsea's perspective, it's not new. He's been scouted since long now, as reports say. Not just Chelsea, but also I've heard Liverpool and Man City also have scouted him, and he is that good. Yeah, that's why all these clubs have scouted him. But I'm not sure why they actually couldn't pull off the trigger. Liverpool recently wanted a midfielder, and they took Thiago. So maybe they thought that Thiago is a better option than Locatelli. Fair enough. But why have the other clubs have not tried on getting this guy? Maybe that Italian, staying at Italy and playing in Italian clubs is a factor. And maybe that's why Juventus have come in front and said that, listen, we're going to take this guy. You're going to stay in Italy, bigger club, better finances, and a place in Champions League, definitely. So it'll be a better deal for him. But then, yes, talking about Chelsea, again, if Locatelli joins in, that would make perfect sense. If Jorginho leaves, it would be the best fit. If Jorginho leaves a gap and then Locatelli comes in and fills the gap, it'll be perfect. But then we've seen him, in yesterday's match. But then it'll be. I'll be very surprised if he comes out of Italy, like you said. Definitely they do prefer Italy more, and it's difficult to take these guys out. We've also heard a lot of rumors in these past years about Insigne coming out of Italy and going to several clubs, but it never happened. Why? Because
never happens.
Yeah, because these guys love, and I don't know why even Lukaku's not coming out of Syria, man.
Come on. Look at Dybala. How many seasons has he had the opportunity to leave, and he doesn't leave? Very few Italians have actually come out, the top ranks Italians. So look, the whole Locatelli thing, it is probably a hype at the moment, but I think the message that I'm trying to drive is that there are other human beings out there that are very capable of doing the kind of job that we want them to do in the midfield, and the way Thomas Tuchel plays. Locatelli is already playing with Jorginho. So, it's not going to be a surprise, let's say, for argument's sake, if it's Locatelli, Jorginho, Kante, and someone like Kovacic leaves, let's say, for argument's sake. Or even Locatelli, Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic, the four play together. Do you know what I mean? Rotate, as Winter Surfer has said, thank you so much for the super chat, Winter Surfer. I said it, we need extra bodies to rotate. Yeah, we will. I think in midfield, you generally need four because of injuries, and because of the rotation as well. We're going to be in so many different competitions next season. Premier League is something we're going to definitely try to win. Champions League, we should try and do the double, Ishan. We should try and get it again, the Champions League, Club World Cup,
absolutely.
Super Cup, all the domestic cups as well. So it's very important that we have four very, very good midfielders that we can keep rotating. Obviously, Kante, Jorginho, the number one, and then obviously you still have Kovacic, and if we can bring in someone, or maybe if we still keep Billy, it is what it is. And the form factor as well, Ishan. Not every player can have amazing form throughout the season. They all go through different forms, and that's when you need to swap things around 100%. There's another one here. I do want to bring this up. Basuma is another one. Not many people talk about Basuma being a very, very good defensive midfielder. Here's another prospect that, honestly, probably just as good as Declan Rice, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on Basuma?
Yeah, I see Bissouma as more attacking minded midfielder. He's more fierce. He tries to go through, run through gaps, dribble pass. He's very good in dribbling. He's got good passing range, and he is a good, strong defensive midfielder in terms of defensive skills as well. He's very strong when
By the way,
he's
Ishan,
off the
sorry,
ball.
just to cut in. I
Yeah.
said Dybala, declare, thank you so much, man. He's Argentinian. What am I thinking? He's not Italian. So basically not leaving the Italian league, put it that way. But thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, my man.
Yeah, so Bissouma is a real prospect, but I've heard strong links with Arsenal, which never happens actually. So
They're never going to get Basuma, man. No way.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Bissouma, it'll be interesting, because he's performed very well with Brighton, and I foresee bigger clubs, trying to take away Bissouma. I'm very surprised if he goes to Arsenal. He shouldn't. He definitely shouldn't. It'll be a suicide in terms of his career. But then, yeah, I've unfortunately have not seen any rumors regarding Bissouma to Chelsea. But I really like that player, and definitely during this concluded season, the later stage, the second half of the season, he was absolutely blistering the whole midfield area. He was like the one-man army, and it was very, very evident the impact that he brought in the pitch when Brighton was playing. So yeah, unfortunately for Brighton, Tariq Lamptey got injured, and it was a heavy injury, so he was out, or else these two guys would have taken Brighton to something else.
Yeah, absolutely agreed, man. If Tariq Lamptey didn't get injured, the way they were playing from the right side with Lamptey and Bissouma really holding it defensively, they could have had a much, much better season. But yeah, man, honestly, as I said, Declan Rice, very good player, but there are very, very awesome options out there in this position that we can think about. Fayaz Ferdin is saying, Miz and Ishan, why not Champions League, Premier League, and FA Cup? We can do it. 100%. That's the target. We should be thinking that way. We should be building a dynasty, and this is what Thomas Tuchel wants to do. And then, why not? Yeah, we absolutely bring in all the superstars and have enough depth to fight everything out there. I do want to read this one from Osado. Locatelli cannot replace Jorginho because he's a B2B midfielder. Look, yeah, I mean, as I said, both Ishan and myself, we don't watch Locatelli enough. We've just seen what he's been doing in Italy. Obviously, in Italy, Jorginho plays as a regista, and Locatelli's been playing as a box to box. But I've heard from other fans that actually watch Serie A and actually watch Sassuolo, they're saying that he can play as the deepest midfielder as well. So That's all I'm saying. I haven't seen it. It's more like that Calvin Phillips thing. Calvin Phillips for Leeds can play as a deep. He does play as a deepest midfielder.
But what do you think, Miss? If Jorginho leaves, you would prefer Calvin Phillips as the best option, right?
Yeah, look, man. If Jorginho leaves, I don't even want to think about it. I don't want him to go. But if he was to leave, I think Calvin Phillips, because he's already doing that at Leeds. Calvin Phillips's passing range is unbelievable from deep. How he can ping balls from one diagonal to the other diagonal. He can sometimes run from deep. And the thing about Calvin Phillips is he's a lot more mobile than Jorginho as well. So I would love someone like Calvin Phillips, man.
Does Leeds want to let him go? I've not heard any of those.
That's the thing. There's no rumors or there's no links at the moment. But I find it very difficult, to see how Calvin Phillips finishes his career at Leeds.
Yeah,
big teams will come for him. He's had a tremendous season for Leeds, and if he has a very good season, a very good tournament with England. I can definitely see other clubs coming for
Also, Marcelo Bielsa wouldn't like him to move.
He loves him, man. He loves him.
Marcelo basically builds his own dynasty of players where it's the work rate of these Leeds players that make them the Leeds player. And the Marcelo Bielsa players, So if Calvin Phillips is one of the best out of them, who basically fits totally perfectly in Marcelo Bielsa system. And I'll be very surprised if Leeds would want to let them go. I don't think so. That's happening.
No. Marcelo Bielsa is one of his biggest favorite players is
Yeah,
Calvin Phillips, man. Here's another
yeah.
shout, Kessie. He's one from AC Milan.
AC Milan.
He's another very, very good
Yeah.
player, man. So yeah, there's a lot of options in that particular position that we
We
can
are also
entertain
linked
down
with
the track.
Verratti, yeah?
I was going to say Marco Verratti is probably,
Yeah.
if Jorginho leaves and we've been linked with Marco Verratti, he's probably the one that comes close. So look, at the moment we are good as it is. Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, Billy Gilmore. If you want to send Billy Gilmore for a loan, which we probably should, and then hopefully we can bring him back once he has a very good loan season, maybe look into getting a cheaper option like your Tchouameni's, your whoever else that we're linked with. Rice is just a bit too much. All right, let's talk about Sergio Ramos. Ishan, this man has announced that he is leaving Real Madrid. It's done and dusted. There's going to be a press conference and he's going to make it official. Well, it's already pretty much official anyway. He's just going to have a press conference to address his fans. But my man, Ishan, honestly, I've not seen our fan base, so many of them are dying for this particular transfer. Honestly, they want Sergio Ramos. And the Madrid Extra, who's a Real Madrid Twitter account, a very, very well esteemed Twitter account, and he was saying that Sergio Ramos is apparently it's either going to be a London-based club or a Paris location. So I personally, I don't want Sergio Ramos because I feel like we are so stacked, Ishan, and I want to get your opinion as well. I want to see what the live chat has to say. For me, we've got the experience with Thiago Silva, and he's staying for another 12 months. We've still got Azpilicueta. We've got Rudiger. There's Christensen, who's a rotational player. Then there's Zuma, who we haven't let go of yet. There's Mark Gehi, who's developing into a monster at Swansea. This is probably one position that I don't think we need anything. We've got enough materials, as the people say in social media, minerals. We've got enough minerals in that position. I mean, what's your thoughts about Sergio Ramos? I mean, he is going to be free. Is it a particular player that you would entertain to take?
Before talking about his transfers, I would like to take a minute and just appreciate what he's done to world football. He's one of the best centre backs the world football has.
But he'll go down as a legend. He'll go down as a legend.
He is an absolute legend, not just for Real Madrid. He's not just a legend for Spain. He's a legend of world football. He's one of the best centre backs world football has ever seen, and I rate him that high. Right from when I started watching football, it was Sergio Ramos who I thought was the best. There were speculations of Carlos Puyol, and Carlos Puyol is one hell of a defender. Make no mistakes about it. But then I always rated Ramos above Carlos Puyol, no matter what. And that's how much I really liked Ramos and respected Ramos. Also look at his achievements. He's won everything. There's nothing left that he's not won.
He's won the lot.
He's won every single thing that a man can win as a footballer, and huge respect. Talking about his transfers, I think so. He's going to PSG as far as the weightage is concerned. I think so. It's getting inclined more to the Paris club, so-called Paris Saint-Germain, who are trying to.
Someone's saying Man City or United as well. Like Taha here, he's saying Man City or United. I don't know Man City. Sure. I don't know the relationship between Pep Guardiola and Sergio Ramos. Is that great?
And also, oh my God, El Clasico vibes, man. I had heard a few rumors regarding Ramos trying to get links with United. Even in the previous season, I had heard something, and it was evident that Ramos wanted to leave, not just this season, but even the beginning of the previous concluded season. It was pretty much evident that he wanted to leave Real Madrid. It's until now that it is totally confirmed, but I don't think so. Any London club would have number one priority as Sergio Ramos at this point of time, because he's obviously past his prime. But he's such a high calibrated player. He's one of the best defenders world football has seen. You cannot say no if Sergio Ramos knocks your door. So he's that kind of player, just like Thiago Silva. If you have him, you have him. And even if he does not play, just his presence will boost something else. The chemistry will go from 70 to 100 just because of his presence. And these guys that's why that's so much important. Regarding Chelsea getting links with Ramos, I don't think so that's happening. Chelsea wouldn't want to keep Thiago Silva and Ramos at one point of time. Does not make any sort of sense. If they do, I'll be very, very surprised. But I'm sure that's not happening. But because Chelsea are already, very much reluctant on keeping high-aged players. The above 35s, Chelsea is, a very strange club when it comes to above 35s and 30s. But then, yes, Thiago Silva was a different quick fix, like we all try to say in transfer language. But then Ramos, I don't see him play any sort of role. The role that Ramos would play in Chelsea is already the role which Thiago Silva is playing. So that does not make any sense. And
if you know what, Ishan? In a back three, it's most likely going to be Thiago Silva. Hopefully, Rudiger signs the deal. It'll be Rudiger in the left centre back, and it's probably going to be Reece James as a right centre back if we get Hakimi. So where does Sergio Ramos start? Do you know what I mean?
And we also have Christensen, Azpilicueta, Zuma in the bench.
That's the thing. And then there's Mark Guehi, who's hoping to come back as well. So Ishan, like Sergio Ramos, he's not going to come to Chelsea to be a bench warmer. Do you know what I mean? Like he, as you said, he's such a highly calibrated player. He's won it all. He wants to go to a team where he still can make an impact, where he still can be the boss. He's going to come to Chelsea. He's not going to be the boss. That's the thing. And if he's happy to do that, then fine. But then there's going to be a ridiculous amount of wages for a player to just sit in the bench. Do you know what I mean? And why make the team unbalanced? Like Thiago Silva's good enough. Why bring more leaders? Like why have so many cooks? So many chefs in the kitchen. Like there's no need for that many. Do you know what I mean? Have the one major one at the moment. Thiago Silva is the one with the experience. Obviously, Azpilicueta has tons of experience. So, I mean, from that perspective as well, Ishan, it's just it. Even if Ramos, as you said, if he knocks on my door now, I'd be like, I can't take you, my man. I just
can't say no. But you also can't say no.
It's tough, but what do you do, man? What do you do, right?
But I think so. He's going to PSG as far as I'm concerned.
How would you fit him in, Ishan? If we were to get Ramos, how would you fit him in?
I don't see any role of that Thiago Silva could play if Ramos comes in Chelsea. So Thiago Silva has to sit in. Obviously, Ramos. You cannot have these two football centre back greats play side by side. If it was a back four, that would have made in one sense. But Ramos, I don't see him as a right centre back or a left centre back. He's a proper middle centre back. So if he plays that, I'm not sure if you'd like to play Thiago Silva in the right centre back or a left centre back. It has to be Rudiger, like you said, and on the other side, it has to be Reece James or a Christensen, so that he can learn something from Ramos. Being at the side and you grow as a player, grow the mentality, and that would help the other players as well. It does not make any sense to play the two footballing greats at one time, regardless of the output, whatever they bring technically. But then, yes, you also need to look at your bench and see that, listen, there are lots of talents in the bench and you need to develop these guys. You cannot just throw in all the experienced guys in and
you have to look for the future, because Thiago Silva and Ramos are not going to play forever. Do you know what I mean? Like Thiago Silva probably maximum 2 more seasons, and then he's going to look to retire. How many more seasons? And same with Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos barely played last season, man. He barely played. He was injured. So you don't know how that body is going to hold up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've also seen Thiago Silva break down a lot, in mid-games, Champions League final being the biggest ever. He's, his body is trying to, he's not giving the effort that he's trying to put out, so that's pretty much evident. But then, Ramos and Thiago Silva at same point of time in Chelsea doesn't make sense. I think so. If you'd want to name one club from Premier League where I can guess that Ramos would be leaving, then I think so. Man United is one of a shout, because I've heard
Man United is
some
a good
rumors.
shout. Man United is a good shout.
I've heard few rumors about Man United and Ramos. Apart from that, I don't think so. Any club would envy Ramos and try to take him with that high wage, and I don't think so. That's happening apart from Man United.
Yeah, no, absolutely makes sense, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at that time where I've just provided the link where you can join us and you can tell us your opinion. So happy to have any of you guys to join us and everything that we've talked about. Would love to hear what you guys have to say. Meanwhile, while we do that, please smash the like button. We've got nearly 80 people on live right now. Let's get the likes up to at least 80 likes, guys. Please, helps the channel out a lot. Helps the the video as well to be going and reaching more people out there. So please, if you're enjoying this show, hit the like button. It'll be much appreciated. Let's get our first caller in. Andrew, my man. I love it. I love seeing Andrew on this particular channel, man. This is exciting. First of all, Andrew, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Another day of Chelsea transfer rumours out of control. It's all good.
Absolutely, my man.
That's what the season's
Absolutely. Hey, I want to ask you, since we're in the whole Sergio Ramos situation, I mean, what's your thoughts? Obviously, Sergio Ramos, big announcement, he's leaving Real Madrid. And half the Chelsea Twitter fan base, because that's where we live, right? All in Twitter. Yeah. They were like, oh, I'll take Sergio Ramos any day of the week. And I'm like, dude, just think for a little bit, though. How does he fit in? So from your perspective, what do you think, man?
Well, I don't think it makes any financial sense for us to go after him. We're going to have to negotiate a deal with Rudiger, and he's younger and he wants a 4-year deal. And even by the time that 4-year deal might end, he'll be younger than Ramos is now. So it's like, why would we do that? We don't offer 2-year deals usually for over 30-year-olds. Remember, Thiago Silva's a 1 deal and then maybe negotiate another 1 year, which has been done. And I just don't think it's strange to say Ramos. If he was 30 or something, then I'd go, yeah, get him. But he's approaching 35 now. We've already got Thiago Silva. I'm already worried about when we rotate him. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to then worry about rotating Ramos as well. And I just think Christensen has come a long way this season. Rudiger, obviously. Zuma's still there, guys, remember? So we haven't sold Zuma yet. We've got Reece James in right centre-back, switching with Aspilicueta. I think we're pretty set for rotation, barring injuries, especially if Hakimi comes in. It's like I told you the other day, Hakimi comes in, you can switch him with Reece James sometimes. You can move Reece James to right centre-back. He can rotate with Aspilicueta. You can move Christensen to the centre, who can rotate with Thiago Silva. And then you go to the left side. So Rudiger's there at the moment. If Zuma stays, you can obviously rotate them. And then for me, it's just possibly you can put Hakimi on the left-hand side, but I prefer a left-footed player on the left-hand side. So I think that bringing Ramos in, I just don't think it's strange to say this. It's Sergio Ramos, but I don't think we need him.
That's the thing, and he's not going to come to Chelsea Football Club being a rotational player, right? Like, he's not going to be like, oh, just give me, a game here and there, and I'll just sit in the bench. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he would even take a pay cut? Because Thiago Silva took a pay cut.
I don't think he would.
I don't think he would. I think you're looking at 200 grand minimum.
Yeah,
just to sign him, and he wants to look at his quotes today. He wanted, he partly said he wanted a 2-year deal, and then he was going to set to 1-year deal. But I just at a 10% reduced salary, I don't even know what he's on for it to be.
I'm pretty sure he's probably on something big. He's probably on something big in Real Madrid.
I think he's over 200 grand at least at Madrid.
Yeah.
And I just don't see us doing that. It doesn't make any financial sense for us to do that.
Chelsea, for that age group, just doesn't do that kind of
don't do salaries. 2-year deals. No.
It's insane to think that level of salaries. We've got so many people lined up in the back studios. Guys, I'm going to have to bring you guys in one by one. Andrew, thank you so much for your time, my man. Honestly, I love it, man. I hope to see you more. In fact, I might even have you as a guest one of these days very soon. Please DM me on Twitter so that I know which your handle is, and I want to follow you as well.
Yeah.
So, please DM me. I'll catch you soon, Andrew. Thank you so much, my man. I'm gonna bring in Yomi, my man. How you doing?
Because, bro, you good?
I'm good,
Yeah.
my man. Talk to me. What do you think about down the track? Chelsea laying the foundation for Jude Bellingham. The whole Haaland deal is hopefully down the track. Maybe a season, 2 seasons down the track. Hopefully, we build a relationship with Dortmund. Jude Bellingham looks like a very, very good player. Yeah. Would you?
Yeah.
If someone was to say to you, Yomi, that don't get Declan Rice, get Jude Bellingham in 2 seasons, would you accept that?
Why not?
I
Of
love
course, why
it.
not? Yeah. To be honest, I feel this Rice guy is a very good player, but the hype around it is just too much, you know.
Too much, bro.
This
Too
Bellingham
much.
guy has been playing at the top level. Please, just one second, please, 1 second.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's it called? This Bellingham guy is a very good guy. He has been playing in Man City against Man City, I mean, and this guy knows about football. Like you can see what it caused problem to Manchester City. The guy he was box to box, moving up and down, sideways. The guy is really good. I prefer him to be want to replace us in the future. Yeah, he's the one.
I love it, man. I love it, man. And
Yeah.
it makes sense to me, honestly. It truly does. What's your thoughts about the Locatelli links? Fabrizio Romano saying there's a lot of clubs that are interested on Manuel Locatelli, Chelsea being one of them. Have you been watching any of the Euros and seeing what
Yeah,
Locatelli is up to?
of course. The guy is good, but he wouldn't want to come to sit on the bench. You know, the guy's a top player. He wouldn't come to sit on the bench. And for it to come to Chelsea, we need a midfielder that's not too good and also not too bad, like an average. You know, because
Someone who can sort of stay in the bench, pretty much like
Exactly.
rotational.
exactly because we have Jorginho and Kante and Kova. These three are on fire. Kova is just 27. It's true. They're just 29. Kante just 30. So and Kante is like an extra battery, you know. So and Jorginho balances this thing. So we need someone like if what's it called? Like I was on Matisse channel yesterday. No, I was watching the channel, and I think he brought in Liam, one of the Twitter was called, and the guy said that Twitter might want to think about bring Conor Gallagher, you know, instead of buying in a midfielder because the chemistry among these three, Jorginho can't take over,
It's fantastic.
and even Billy is actually good. Billy might go on alone, but Jorginho Kante, having Jorginho Kante, Kova, and Gallagher in just pivot, you know, it's actually good. And Mount also jumped in.
Would you keep Billy Gilmore instead? Like instead of Conor Gallagher, would you just keep Billy Gilmore and give him that extra bit of time when one of these players are injured or out of form?
So to be honest, I feel Gallagher is better because Gallagher has played on a top level. Like the guy almost played like almost all the games in West Brom.
All the games for West Brom, yeah.
Back to back. So the
He
guy
was one of the main players for West Brom. He was one of the main players.
Yeah. So the guy has been into the high intensity, you know, about the Premier League, and he knows because there was a goal he scored. Was it a goal or a cross he made against Manchester United? That cross was one very, very good. The guy's on the top level, and the guy can break in. The guy is 19 or 20, I think so. 20 years, so 21 or 20.
Which player? Who?
Connor.
Oh, Connor's young, man. Yeah, he's like
so just
20 probably, yeah.
So just give Billy just 90. Give Billy a loan. Get him a Premier League loan or even a Championship loan. Just let him, because you can't just throw Billy in like that. The guy hasn't played constant football, you know. The guy is a good footballer. Billy is a good footballer. Technical. What he did in madness against Manchester City. I was really proud, like the guy.
Yeah.
But you know, the guy is too small, you know. I feel it's just this smallness can become its advantage. Connor, I can see Connor as a guy that can play box to box, you know.
Yeah.
He can switch the Mount, dropping like Mount, going Mount, playing the middle. Imagine playing Jorginho, Connor, and Mount, you know. On the attack, on the attack,
just engines.
Jorginho sits back on the attack. Mount and Connor go up, you know. And we have Hakimi, we have Chilwell, we have Haaland, we have Pulisic. It's mad attack, you know. So and Connor has the kind of what you call mount attribute, like the long ball, outside shots. These are things that we are lacking. Billy is the guy that he plays safe. He doesn't want to make mistake. He just play according to
different type of players. They're just different
Yeah.
type of players,
So
and you need all. Yeah, and you need all type of players. But my man Yomi, thank you so much. I do want to bring in more callers. They're all lined up. My man, thank you. Honestly, always a pleasure.
Bro, I'll be glad if you can also be a guest on the channel, bro. I love talking about Chelsea. Yeah,
I'll reach out to you, my man. Honestly, thank you so much, Yomi. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Miss, before you go on to the next guest, a short question for you.
Yeah.
Forget about the financials and all those accountants thing. Who do you prefer, Conor Gallagher or Declan Rice? You have to answer me one.
Oh, it's gonna have to be Declan Rice, right? I mean, Conor Gallagher's still young, man. I mean, he needs to develop. He's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a very, very good player. But he's got a long way to go. That it's not even a comparison, Declan Rice and Conor Gallagher for me. So yeah, Declan Rice always. Let's bring on Declared. Declared, my man, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, my man.
Sean,
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, you're telling me, Sean, mate. Too many accountants in here.
Too many accountants. Too many accountants. Too many. Look, it's not even about accountants in this case. The whole Declan Rice thing for me is many make him look like he's the number one DM in the world, like he's the Haaland of the DM world. I don't think he is. That's where my issue is. That's where I feel like there are other very, very good options out there. By the way, I just want to quickly address some of the live chat. Miz, did you see PYS tweet? I did see it. He's apparently contacted one of the, friends of Hakimi, and he said that Hakimi is joining. Look, I don't want to get into all of that. I'll wait till the journalists make the news.
We'll have a separate stream for that, yeah?
We'll have a separate stream. And look, PYS, obviously, kudos to him if he's found that. But at the end of the day, journalist is what I want to go with, and news publications and whatnot. So we'll go with that. But yeah, I had PYS yesterday, and we talked about Hakimi and whatnot. So just to bring him, just to talk about the tweet itself, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But yeah, Declared, my man. What's your thoughts about? And you're keen on Rice, but what about a player like Jude Bellingham down the track? What about a player like Calvin Phillips or Locatelli that someone's saying? I mean, are they not in the same caliber of Declan Rice?
Yeah, they are, especially Bellingham. He's going to be a star. Everyone knows that. But I've noticed, and why I was probably more vocal about Rice. People are hating on Rice. If you've noticed, people are so against that price tag, and then that's why Ishan has to give you everyone has to give that example that Ishan gave. That, well, all right, take out the price tag. Do you want him? Because people forget, the guy is 22 years old. He is the captain of West Ham. A leader is something we're probably going to need in the future with our young team. We're going to need Mount's the leader, but we're going to need maybe more. To the age when we had Lampard, Bella, Drogba, a team full of leaders. That's going to be a quality that we don't know if these other players are going to have, and it's there. I remember reading somewhere he's got really good pass accuracy, tackles. So he's proven. I think out of all the names that have been listed, I think he'll come to the team and adjust very well. So the other ones have a risk. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. But I think because he's been there before. He already hangs around with all the Chelsea players. Mount is best. I think he'll adapt very well, and he's going to improve. And he's proven already in West Ham. Look at what they did this year. So they're in a great team.
Look, I get your whole ideology about he's a Chelsea through and through. He'll gel in, but I'm not going to disregard Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel so far has pretty much made hay out of almost everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all thought Jorginho was done and dusted under Frank Lampard. He's brought him in, and then he's done a madness. Rudiger, we thought he was done and dusted, and look at what Rudiger's up to. So I'm not worried that it has to be Declan Rice or it's no one. I do understand that what you said, that it kind of looks like everyone's hating on Declan Rice. There needs to be an adjustment. I think everyone just hyped him out very highly. I do understand your whole ideology about him being a leader. I completely get that. But he's still a developing player. I don't think there's a lot of things that I can already see in Calvin Phillips. And Calvin Phillips is a player I see a lot more than Declan Rice. I don't watch West Ham games. I tend to watch a little bit more of Leeds games. And I see a lot of traits in Calvin Phillips that Declan Rice doesn't have. And I feel like saying to myself, why are we so mad about Declan Rice? He's a very good player, don't get me wrong. But I think it's the whole hype about he used to be an academy player. He's Mason Mount's best mate. He will gel in. He understands Chelsea, da-di-da-di-da. I mean, it's not always like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are other players that come in from abroad or other clubs who are not affiliated with Chelsea, and they've done well. So,
I didn't bring, I gave all those qualities, right? Because that's what kind of the other players don't have, right? In terms of what you're getting, right? So Phillips has 3 years on Rice, is how I look at it.
Sure.
Right? And Rice could excel Phillips in 3 years. So there's that too, right? And Phillips is a great player. And if we get Phillips, I'll be over the moon, right? It's just that Rice fits with the age group of the rest of the young players. So when they all come up to their peak, they're all peaking at the same time, right? And that's why I said that. And if you had to make comparisons between the both players, like leadership is one thing, maybe tackling, and Phillips really just started shining in this Euro game. That's why everyone was talking about him. But
here's a question for you, Declan. Here's a question for you, Declan, right? As Ishan said, take away the price. Forget about Rice's price. Forget about Phillips's price. Who fits better under Thomas Tuchel?
I think Rice does, because Rice can also play centre back, so he's more of a tool to play with. He can tactically, because remember how we can theorize about tactics, and then if he plays like a DM and in an attacking formation, or no, in a defensive formation, he can fall back and be one of the central defenders, right? And then that gives Tuchel a lot to play with in his evolution of the tactics, or in certain games, and he can play like that. So if we have him a DM in one game and we're losing, he can take off a central defender. He can fill in the spot and go on and put an attacking player on. I think it gives Tuchel more to play with.
Yeah, I get the whole point about him being versatile, but honestly, versatility is fine, but you do need players that can do a role very, very well as well. I think that's the number one priority. You don't want versatility everywhere. Like Hakimi is going to be a versatile player. I think this is what Frank Lampard was trying to do. He just wanted to have a lot of versatile players and not specialists, which ended up being a bit of an issue for him. He was throwing Mason Mount everywhere. I personally think Calvin Phillips would understand Thomas Tuchel's tactical knowledge and what it needs to happen off the ball, on the ball. And this isn't saying that Declan Rice doesn't understand that. David Moyes has done a fantastic job for West Ham, but West Ham don't play the same level of football that Chelsea kind of play, or West Ham doesn't play the same level of football that Leeds kind of play. Now, you can argue the fact that, well, West Ham's in front of Leeds in the table and West Ham almost pipped Chelsea as well. But that's a level of football I personally don't think it's sustainable. I would be very, very surprised if David Moyes takes this West Ham team next season and still comes up in the top six. I'll be very surprised. And that's no disrespect or taking anything away from this season. I think on the other side, Leeds are probably going to get better. They're only going to get even better and better. And next season, I think some of the top six teams are in for a massive rude awakening. That's the thing I'm trying to say, that someone like Calvin Phillips will completely understand what Thomas Tuchel is going to try and do off the ball, on the ball, the passing range, the different, passing that you need to do from deep. So, look, completely respect your point of view, declared man.
Just to add, Miss, it kind of adds to what are we replacing Jorginho? Like if we're replacing Jorginho, for example, then Phillips it fits that mold. But if you have Jorginho, and then you're looking for different type of players, maybe that's where, in Tuchel's eyes, for example, right? That's where maybe Rice kind of fits better. So I think it comes down to what is Tuchel needing and how he's looking at it, because there has to be something that he saw that was something that was missing, and he needs something to fill. So the fact that they're going after a DM, right, might be because Gilmour's going. And now if Gilmour's going, then they might not even be looking at that type of player. They might be looking as a squad player, someone that's going to play squad. He could be really happy with the three that he has.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think that's probably the case. That's
what I believe too. Yeah,
the three that we have, he's very happy with, and maybe it's just a squad. And I'd rather have Billy as a squad. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless Billy needs to get a lot more game time. But look,
Billy wanted to leave. So Billy wanted to leave in January on loan, and he convinced him to stay. And I think the biggest worry was when Cover was injured, he started to put Mount in that role. Yeah. Because he was worried that in a few injuries we could be without those in those positions or players in those positions, and I think that was the worry. And because of that worry, he announced that we need one more guy to fill in that role, and it could be a simple squad player rather than hitting the heights of what the players we've been naming.
I agree, man. I mean, we got into a bit of a mess right at the end of the season when Cover got injured, and it seemed like we didn't always trust Billy. And I get that. I mean, he's young, and trusting him in some of these high-profile games was probably going to be very difficult. But maybe next season from the get-go, hopefully Thomas Tuchel, you never know, could create that trust. But Declared, my man, thank you so much for your time. Honestly, I love it, as you know. Love having a conversation with you. And I can't wait to see you again. Thank you so much, my man.
You will. See you guys.
Take care, man. I'm going to bring in Victor. Before I introduce Victor, guys, we've got literally over 100 people. Please smash the like button. Get the likes to at least 100. If you're enjoying this, fans are coming in, having their, say as well. So please smash the like button. As I said, helps the channel out and helps the video out a lot as well. So you guys are part of it. So make it happen. Make the goodness carry on with the likes. Victor, my man, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you two doing?
Good, my man. Good. What's your thoughts about the whole DM Locatelli? Talk to me about Locatelli, man. You impressed with Locatelli? Is that kind of player that you'd want at Chelsea?
I've not seen too much of him. I've only seen highlights. I didn't really watch the Italy second game, but I saw the first game. Him and Jorginho looked really good together in the few spells I saw. If only in a few hours or a few days they're able to have a bit of chemistry between the two of them, if it comes to Chelsea, I think it could flourish much more. I'm not mad at their idea. He is a cheaper version of Declan Rice. I'm not so mad. I still think it's a good option in case we can't get Declan. But if it was me, my preferred option would be Declan Rice.
Oh, really? So you'd want Declan Rice? Like you've watched a lot of West Ham games, and
I've watched a lot of West Ham, a lot of Declan, and I think him and Kante will work perfectly, or him and Cover work perfectly. You can play him and Jorginho in the same midfield.
So you'd bring in Declan Rice and replace Jorginho?
No, we can have them both. We can rotate. We're in a lot of competitions next season, so.
But is that worth it to have a rotational player for nearly 80 to 100 million that he's going to cost from West Ham?
Well, even though he's worth that much, he can't play all the games this next season. It's physically
true.
So obviously Jorginho will have to come in some games, and Declan, and you can't guarantee he's not going to get injured.
So, that's also true.
Yeah. So his name, I forgot his name now. He's a cheaper option.
Calvin Phillips or Jude Bellingham? Locatelli.
Yeah, he's the cheapest option of Declan Rice. He'll be my second option. I don't think Phillips would come to Chelsea, in my opinion. I think he might go to City. And Jude Bellingham is obviously a future purchase. It's not for now. It's like probably in the next 3-4 years we could go for it. It won't be now.
Two years, I'd say 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. But you don't know how Dortmund are. They could be a bit like the Haaland situation. It could be a bit difficult at times.
Absolutely, man. What's your thoughts on Ramos, man? Ramos is someone you want at Chelsea?
If we're letting the centre back go, like Azuma, sure he can come in. But if we're not, I think he can. I'd rather have Varane. than Ramos. Because if you watch him in the Champions League final, he was completely outrun by our whole team. And let's say in the Premier League, it'll be a lot worse. Maybe if he had more protection beside him, like in the tutorial system, maybe it might be better. Well, I think
it was also because of the fact that he'd just come back from injury as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I do understand. I mean, he is getting old. It's not like he's getting any younger. Varane, now the fact that Sergio Ramos is gone, I don't think Varane is going to leave.
I don't think so.
I can't imagine Real Madrid losing Varane and Ramos. Like, that's pretty crazy. Militao over there is doing a bit of a madness. I like Militao for Real Madrid. He's a very, very good player. Well, I don't even think Real Madrid would sell him. Ishan, what's your thoughts on Militao, man? I really like Militao. He's a fantastic player.
Militao he's been really impactful. Real Madrid has Ramos, in his last concluded season, he's been succumbed to a lot of injuries, and people thought that Real Madrid now are heading to the Liverpool way, where they lost Van Dijk and they absolutely the ship absolutely sunk. Even Real Madrid thought that they were going through hell now, since the likes of Ramos is injured and he's gone for long. But then Adam Militao stepped up and he's been very, very good. The impact that he's brought on the pitch, it brought a new confidence in the attacking front for Real Madrid, that yes, listen, we have another player to rely on at the back, so we can basically play our natural gameplay, not be that much defensive. Also, we know that Tony, after we've seen Ramos, move out with an injury, we've seen the role of Toni Kroos become more of a proper register, as we like to say. He becomes he likes to play that role more often now, as he knows that, listen, Ramos is not there beside me, so I cannot be that much fluent at the attacking front. So I need to keep myself a little bit more in the holding position, make myself a register when we have the ball, and off the when we he's in the attacking front, then he can also deliver his passes. We all know how Toni Kroos is good with the pass, but then yes, coming back to the Militao thing, he's been very good, and so has been Nacho. Nacho has been a top class midfield centre back for Real Madrid. These two guys have definitely stepped up, since Ramos and Varane, these both guys have not been starting much. So these two guys, kudos to them. They've been really, really good. I'll be very surprised if these two guys do not start much. They'll be a regular starter for Madrid in the coming season. But it'll be very interesting to see if Madrid signs a new centre back as well.
No, absolutely correct. Absolutely. Victor, thank you so much for your time. I want to bring in a couple of more callers before we wrap things up. Victor, hopefully we will see you around again. Thank you, my man. Thank you. We'll bring in Prashant. Prashant, my man, how you doing? Prashant, are you there? Maybe Prashant's not there. Let's see if I can bring in ARN. ARN, how you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Not bad, man. Not bad. What's your thoughts about the topics that we've talked about? Jude, let's talk about the Jude Bellingham thing. I mean, is he someone that you'd be keen to get down the track? It looks like the Haaland situation is that we will get. Hopefully, we're laying the foundation to do deals with Dortmund in regards to getting Jude Bellingham in the future. Is he someone that you fancy?
Yeah, at this point, Jude Bellingham is the best option, I feel like.
Wow, at this point, you would actually get him now, not in the future.
Yeah, seeing that Tuchel might be staying for a long time, hopefully. He could develop under Tuchel. And then further down the line, maybe like 2 years or 3 years later, with Haaland in the team, with Bellingham in there, we could be a force.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, we could be a force. Thoughts on Ramos? Is Sergio Ramos? I just want to quickly read this from King Amish. We already have Silva, so for me, no to Ramos. We need a 25 to 26-year-old good CB. So yeah, what's your thoughts on Sergio Ramos? Someone that you'd fancy?
Absolutely not. Yunus mentioned it on Matisse's live stream as well. Like what do you say? He's not good in the dressing room.
Yeah, he did mention
that-
that.
Yeah. Now we have our players together right now, but then if Ramos comes in and Rudiger with him, could cause havoc, I think. And then his age is also not a good thing right now. Probably going for someone like Koundé or Varane, maybe. But seeing Ramos has left, Varane is not looking likely to stay at. He'll be staying at Real now.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one. There's not many centre backs out there with the contracts coming to a close. So don't know. Even Rudiger at this point, he's playing games. You don't know.
Interesting, man.
You know,
Interesting.
mentioning Ramos and Rudiger clash. Forget about a UCL showdown. We might have a UFC showdown.
UFC, yeah, exactly.
Those two players might just get on each other. That's the crazy. It's just that's the thing. You know, declared once again. I saw your message where you said that why not have Sergio Ramos? I mean, why not have everyone? I get that, but there is a thing about squad harmony. There is a thing about the human element. There is a thing about having the right balance. These are factors that we need to think about, or else you might as well just get a Ronaldo. You might as well just get a Messi. You might as well just get a Lewandowski. You might as well just get a Casemiro, you know, and like create the best team of your life. It doesn't always work that way. That's the crazy part. It does not work that way. You got to look in. That's why I've said the whole Hakimi deal makes sense to me, because right side, we needed to improve our impetus, the attacking impetus. So it makes sense. Haaland makes sense because we need goals. Do you know what I mean? Getting a Declan Rice in defensive midfield, I don't know. We've got Kante, we've got Kovacic, we've got Jorginho. Yes, add another factor in there. But Declan Rice factor is not something, and I'm taking the price away. Declan Rice is not what I think is needed. I'm more leaning towards a Calvin Phillips type of player, or Tchouaméni, that many are saying. Do you know what I mean? I've not watched him, but a lot of people are saying Tchouaméni. So, you know, something like that. Sergio Ramos, we've got a Thiago Silva, we've got a Rudiger, we've got, you know, Azpilicueta, we've got Reece James. I mean, what's Sergio Ramos going to do? Just twiddle his thumbs in the you know, dressing room? He's going to want to start every game as well. Yeah, he may not be able to, but try telling that to that man. He's probably going to say to Thomas Tuchel, "I deserve to play every game. I did not come here to sit on the bench." Thomas Tuchel is going to say, "But man, you're 36. You can't play every game." You think Sergio Ramos is going to take that? Oh, you're calling me old now. You're calling me old. That's the thing. It's just, it does not work that way, you know, or else, you know, we'd have a FIFA team. But yeah, Aaron, thank you so much for your time, my man. I'm going to bring in the last caller, which is Prashant.
Thanks for having me.
No problems, my man. No problems. Thank you. Prashant, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not bad, man. Not bad. I think there's some Wi-Fi issues probably from your side. Your voice is sort of breaking up, but yeah. What's your thoughts on Locatelli, you know, or Jude Bellingham or Sergio Ramos?
Actually, I saw last two matches of Italy in Euro, and it looked good. But I don't think he will come because of the saga of Italian players not coming out of the league and all. And about Jude Bellingham, I think maybe 2 or 3 later we will go for that player.
Do you like Jude
And
Bellingham? Like,
for,
is someone that you think is going to be a very top player, Jude Bellingham?
Yeah, for sure. I think as compared to Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, I know Declan Rice is a very good player.
Is Prashant still there?
I don't. Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Yeah. I just thought you stopped talking. I was like, is he still there?
Okay, because of my Wi-Fi issues, sorry for that thing.
That's all right,
so
man. Yeah, but yeah, continue.
As compared to both these two players, I think the cost of the Declan Rice is too much as a position wise. I think Jude Bellingham is like for 30, for maybe 15 million as a 2 year time is a very good purchase.
No, absolutely,
That's a
man.
very good,
Absolutely.
and the Sergio Ramos is a too old, yeah, too old.
Cool. Prashant, I might have to let you go because of the network issue. So I'm going to let you go. But thank you so much, my man. Honestly, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, when I do get the fans calling, please make sure you guys have good quality internet connection, or else it's going to be a very, very tough situation to have a conversation. But I do appreciate, honestly, I appreciate you guys coming in and giving us your opinion, because that's what I want to build in this particular channel. Ishan, let's wrap this up. First of all, before we wrap things up, please smash the like button, guys. Honestly, please smash the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. Yeah, man. Are you excited about this whole transfer saga that's continuing? So many names we're linked with, Ishan. Hakimi hopefully gets done by the end of this month. What's your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen by the end of the transfer window? Who are the players that we're going to get, from your opinion?
Looking at this point of time, the situation, Hakimi deal looks pretty much close. So we might be completing this Hakimi deal very, very soon. Haaland, I don't know, man. I mean, it's really exciting to talk about Haaland. I can talk about Haaland the whole day, but then there are lots of thorns in this negotiations. There are lots of hurdles that Chelsea Football Club needs to get over and get Haaland, bring in Haaland. There are lots of permutation, combination of situation that we can think about Haaland. But then, yes, as of now, football transfers are funny, yeah. An overnight thing can really bring out lots of rumors. Just see Locatelli, what did he do last night? If we would have this stream yesterday, we didn't talk anything about Locatelli, but just look 24 hours, we're talking about Locatelli. But then, yeah, as far as this Euro progresses, day by day, there'll be new heroes, new guys emerging with their good performance, and we'll be talking about their transfers as well if there are any sort of rumors. So, but then, yes, as far as Chelsea is concerned, I see Hakimi deal really close. I hope that happens. And as far as someone leaving, I think so. There, it's hard. It's difficult to say, but Hakim Ziyech is someone I feel. I'm hearing a lot about when it comes to leaving Chelsea. But then, yes, it would be one of the best transfer season if we sign Erling Haaland. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
100%, man, 100%. You're right. There's a lot of outgoings which are going to be very interesting as well. But in my opinion, I'm thinking it's Hakimi and Haaland. Those two will 100%, I feel, will happen. And then you never know. Maybe a DM, maybe another attacker, like if we lose Hakim Ziyech or like a Callum on a loan. But I think Haaland and Hakimi for sure, those two. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps us up. Thank you so much for your time. We'll probably be back tomorrow. Let's see what the news has for us tomorrow. And yeah, we'll go again. Until next time, everyone. Take care. Oh, before I go, I have to say Sutarsan's name. Sutarsan, there you go. I said your name. He's been calling
again.
out.
Oh, he's come again.
Sutarsan, there you go. I've just said your name, man. I hope you enjoy that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. See ya.